Okay, I think we can just get started now. So, welcome to session 3 of the Logistem Linguistics Club. Again, for a quick review of Linguistics Olympiad, it's called Naclo, and Naclo stands for the North American Computational Linguistics Open Competition. So this is basically the competition that determines which students get to participate in the IOL, which is the International Linguistics Olympiad. And for NACLO, there's 2 rounds. The first one's the open round, anyone can participate. And from the participants in the open round, they pick people to do the invitational round, which is just like the semifinals pretty much. And the people who do really well on the semifinals get to go on to the international round. Why is it called IOL? I'm not sure. I just is. So how to prepare for NACLO? You can either first take a foreign language class at your school, like middle school or high school. So I'm pretty sure most schools offer some sort of language class like Spanish or French, and that can be a good introductory course for like language analysis pretty much. Another thing you can do is check out some linguistics textbooks. So here's the 2022 handbook that has some resources in it. And another thing you can do is practice problems from the Naclo website. So I'll copy paste these links in the chat after I move on to the problems. And you can also watch the YouTube video that I made on the Linguistics Olympiad introduction, which gives a little bit more in depth on the info about this competition. So registration opened almost 2 weeks ago now. So if you're interested in participating in this year's open contest, you should register now on the Naclo website. You just have to make an account, and then I think you can register yourself by that. So the Naclo 2022 will be on January 27th, and the invitational round is March 17th. So if you're interested in doing this competition, you can take down those notes for these dates. Okay, so we're going to move to the first problem now. It's called Of Monkeys and Children. So there's this language here. I'm not going to try pronouncing it, but it belongs to a language family in Brazil, and it's spoken by less than 800 people. So here are some sentences in this language with their English translations. So you'll see some letters here that don't occur in the English or Portuguese writing systems. Like, for example, this one. Some of these are kind of unknown to us. So you don't need to know exactly how these letters are pronounced in order to solve the problem. So it gives you these translations. And then what you have to do is you have to translate these into English. You have to translate these into the language, and then you have to explain what these mean. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing for a second. I'm going to send a link for the problem into the chat. So you can print it out or take a look at it on your own computer. And then I'll also share the screen because there's 2 slides. I can't share them at the same time. So yeah. Okay, so that's the first problem. So you guys can print it out or just open it on your whatever device you have. And then I'm going to share my screen really quick. So this is just the first slide. So if you want me to click to the second slide, if you can't open the link, then just let me know and I can switch between these.
Can you send the link for the slides in the chat?
Oh yeah, like these links?
Oh no, like to the slides. That way we can see the pictures.
Oh, yeah, I can send the link to the slide. But you guys can see the solutions then. So just like if you want to solve the problem by yourself, then don't look at the slides after. Okay, so yeah, the link for the slides are in the chat. So I'll give you guys around 10 to 20 minutes to solve this problem, or if you need more time, you guys can let me know. And if you have a solution, either you can just check it by yourself on the slides following this, or you can just send it to me in chat. Okay, I'm also gonna put you guys in breakout rooms to do the problems. because so you guys can kind of discuss with each other how to do it. So if you need the problem, I'll just copy paste the link again in each room. But yeah, I'm gonna create the rooms right now and then open them. So you guys can all join these rooms. Okay, I think everyone's back now. So we're gonna go over the problem. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so first, we can figure out what each thing means to begin with. So one thing I see right away is all of these have APE in them, except for the first one. But if we look on this side, all of these also have to do with working, except for the first one. So we can assume that this word has something to do with works, like the verb work. Okay, so now that we have that, this one probably means eat. Okay, so that means we know that they put the verb first. Like we put it at the end, but for this language, they put it as the first word. Something else that we can look at is this. So these two both have METS, or not METS, but like the English translation. And here it has something to do with like it's like a positive thing. Like for example, the good man works and the child works well. So this just means something positive. So another thing we can point out here is that this adjective in this sentence describes the working because it's right after working, but for this one, the positive adjective describes the man, which means that it goes after that. So we can also keep that in mind. So this means man, as we can see here. So this probably means bad because the old man works badly, and we already know the adjective will go after, like that. Okay, so now that we know these things, we can kind of move on to the problem now. So I'm gonna clear it. Okay, the first one we want to translate into English is this sentence. So we know APE has to do with working. So I'm just gonna put works for now. So if we go back, METS, hold on, means the good man. So we know the good man's works is part of it. Oh, I have to erase that. So the good man works. And then we want to figure out what RATS means for this sentence. So if we look down, we have RATS in this sentence, and it's used to describe the monkey because it's not before works, and it means big. So in terms of working, if we can't say the good man works big because that doesn't really make sense in English. So another thing for big is like just a great amount. So we could just do the good man works a lot. That's our translation. So that's how we do this first one. For the second one, this one has to do with eating because we know this word means eats. So if we go back to RATS again, we know that means something to do with a lot. So we do eats a lot. And then this means monkey, I believe. Yeah, because KOKOI is in this word with the monkey in it. And then PUNUI means bad. So the bad monkey eats a lot. That's what you can get. So that's for this one. For the last one, if we go back, so APE means works again, as we know. And then PIN or whatever that is, PINETS means old. So the old man, it's not the old man because old is in front of APE. So we can't say the man works old. That doesn't make sense like the other one. So the man works a long time. Because another thing you can do for old is long amount of time. So that's pretty much what old means. So that's how we translate this one. Okay, so that's how you do A1. Now translating it the other way, first we know works is APE, and we put that first, like that. If we want to do works a long time, then we use that word again. I'm not doing exactly how it's spelled here because I don't have those characters, but you guys can get the point. And then we do the big child. Okay, so let me see. Child is KRA, and then big is RATS. So what we do for this one is KRA and then RATS. Again, the characters aren't exact, but you guys can get the point. So it's like this. That's for this first one. For the second one, the old monkey eats a lot. We know eats is that. And then a lot is like that. So that's for the first one. Then we want to do the old monkey. So first we need to check what monkey is. And we have monkey is KOKOI. Then for old, we know it's this word here. So we're gonna write like that. So that's how you translate this one. Now we want to explain the meanings of the following words, which we kind of did on this slide already. So RATS means like big / a lot, or just a large amount of some sort. METS means good / wealth, or just like some sort of positive meaning here. And PINETS just means old or a long time. Just like different variations of that. So that's how you fill this out. So number one's pretty simple. It's just like a translation problem. That's pretty common on this test. So you guys can keep that in mind. And the answer's here if you want to like a longer explanation. Okay, so for our second problem, it's called reach for the top. So we have this language here, I'm not going to pronounce that. The language is one of the major languages in the Philippines, and it's spoken by more than 8 million people. So today it's written in the Roman alphabet, which was introduced by the Spanish. But before that, these people wrote it in, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's in this special kind of script. And this was used to write many Philippine languages, and it's used from the 14th to the 19th century. So down here, there's 12 words written in this language, and you have to match them to their English translations, which are scrambled down here below. So you kind of have to match it accordingly. So I'm going to copy paste the link for this problem again. Oh. Like that. And you guys should have the link for the slides, but I'll resend it. Okay, wait, I'll resend after. So I'll give you guys like 10 to 15 minutes again to this problem. This one's a bit harder and the answers are on the second slide, but I'm gonna put you in your breakout rooms again so you guys can have time to do this with some partners if you want to in your breakout rooms. I have 5 minutes to go for reach for the top. So did anyone get like the answer? You guys can
I
just.
know the first one is to look for joy or something like that.
Okay. You're kind of on the right track. Okay, wait.
I think the first one is happiness.
Hold on, let me share my screen. Okay, so first, you can kind of group these words on the bottom into like different groups. You know what I mean? So for example, we have to look In the same grouping is looking, and then you also have appearance, and kind of in the same grouping because they all like have something to do with like looks and whatever. The next thing is happiness and is skipping for joy. That's also another grouping. Another thing is skeleton, various skeletons, and is becoming a skeleton. Okay, so that's another grouping. And then there's also summit and to reach the top. Oops, okay. And then finally there's to buy, I think is the last one. Okay, so now that we have these groupings, if we look in this list, these four all begin with like the same thing. So this is like the 4 grouping. This is 5, which means it probably has to do like 3 and then one of the 2. And then we have this 2 grouping here. And then this is to buy. You can assume because it doesn't really relate to anything else. Oh. Like that. Okay, so if we look at the 4 grouping, to look is looking, appearance, and various appearances. So appearance and to look are kind of the base words for like these groupings. So you have these 2. So we kind of want to figure out which one is to look and which one is appearance. So what are our ideas for this? Something you can think about is, for example, to look and is looking is like it begins with this is word, and this one also begins with is. If we look in this grouping, they have kind of like a similar thing going on here with this like symbol and stuff. So we can kind of relate these 2. So we can say this one is looking, and this one is skipping for joy, which means if we're doing groupings here, the one above it's happiness, because yeah, the rest of these all begin with 2. For a skeleton, you have these 2 both begin with 2, and then this one, it would be is becoming a skeleton. Like that. So if we have is looking, then the one on top, because they both start with this beginning here, like that. So this, the one above it would be to look. The one on the very top is appearance, and this one would be various appearances, like that. So then here, down here, we have skeleton, various skeletons, and is becoming a skeleton. The shortest one is likely the base here. This one would be various skeletons. So finally, we have summit and to reach the top. So summit would be the base word here. And then this would be to reach the top. This one's kind of hard because you have to do like symbols. Like I found the problems like these where they have symbols instead of actual words to be harder, because then like it kind of takes more effort to analyze this. But this is just an idea of how you would do it. You look for the common threads, and you can also look like for patterns between the groupings of words, like that. So that's how you do the second one. That's kind of all we have time for today. Does anyone have any questions for this? Okay, if not, that pretty much wraps up this. So I can, if anyone doesn't have the link for the slideshow, I can share it again. Everyone has the link, right? If not, you can let me know. So you can look at the last problem on the slides, number 3. So it basically, it has to do with Japanese in relation to English. So this could interest you. And if you want to try this problem, it's here with the full problem down here. So you can fill this out and then look at the answer here and see if you get it right. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this week's meeting. If you have any other questions, you can stay behind, let me know. But if not, I think the next meeting starts at 6:30, the next club, which is physics, I believe. So if you're interested in doing that, you can all head there. If not, I hope you guys have a good night and I'll see you next week. Bye.